Hey everyone, it's me Lawrence with Sensory Sumo, and I'm joined here again with my good friend Elmer Mendoza. Say hi,
Hi,
Elmer.
Lawrence. Hi, Lawrence. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me here again.
Great. Well, today, backed by popular demand, El-
Really.
Elmer is going to talk about how to get the DMV blue placard, or the disability placard, if you have a child with autism, because that's considered a disability under the California regulation. Isn't that correct, Elmer?
Yes.
So, our question is, how do you start the process? Because other parents don't even realize that um, when their child is diagnosed with autism, that they're able to get that blue card so they could park and make it easier for them to park anywhere whenever they're bringing their kids.
Well, at first, oh, by the way, I want to uh, say my disclaimer again that I'm not a professional. I'm just a parent who sharing my experience. I don't recommend my way, but it's what I'm saying is like this way works for us. So these are just all my personal experience. So I just wanted to say that right there. But
Absolutely.
with regarding with the DMB I call it BIP Blue Card Pass. um, I actually just when Yuan was like around 3 to 4 years old, I having a hard time finding parking spots, and I was like always end up in parking on the last corner.
Hmm.
And my son has like some behaviors like he will just run away, or he has like a tendency of elopement. So
Hmm.
it's really tough for me because I have other kids too, and with all the business and all other chores that you have to do,
Hmm.
sometimes you don't have enough time to be there early,
Right.
right? So you just have to, sometimes you're about bus or beater, and here you go, you have a son that wants to elope, to run or throw tantrums, and most of the time it end up I'm always late 5 to 15 minutes, and there were like times that I almost lose my spot because you
Right.
just decided to throw tantrums.
Right.
And I see those like disability parking spot in front of those offices that I'm going to, and I was like, why I can't have those? So that's when I start to research about disability parking.
Right.
And when I went to California DMB website, when I see that form,
Hmm.
it says for people with disability. And
Right.
I was like, wait a minute. Yeah,
Mm.
my son is not disabled physically,
Right.
but he got mental disability.
Yes.
And why I'm not getting that benefit,
Right.
right? So I went to my doctor and I said like, hey, is my son would be possibly um, qualified to get those BIP blue parking pass? And said like, why not? So I went, so I went to the website, I print the form and
Hmm.
said, hey doctor, here's the form, please fill it out. And I think one of the requirement is to say that it is a long-term disability
Right.
that has no, like, it's not been, I think there's different kinds of um, disability placards. There's like a short term and a long term.
Right.
There's, you see the color green or brown, and then the blue. So the blue is the long term. The green or brown is kind of like the short term.
Right. Right.
So I get that form. I give it to the doctor. Once then the secretary told me, "Hey Elmer, just come back next tomorrow."
Hmm.
So here you go. The doctor signed it with the proper diagnosis, saying that Yuan has a
So, what was
long-term
the
dis.
diagnosis that the doctor? Was it just autism, or did they also add like an intellectual disability to the
I
form?
can't remember, but it says there that it's a mental disability, autism,
Hmm.
like elopement, you kind of
Right.
like, but I didn't pay much attention because you know how the doctor writes their diagnosis, like it
Yeah.
scribbles.
Right.
I was like, okay, doc, is this good? All right, he said it's good. So after I received that paper, I went to a DMV office nearby, like 5 minutes drive from here, and I fall in line, and then they said go to window G30. or the G3. So I went there. I gave it to her,
Mm-hmm.
and they asked for my ID. I
Mm-hmm.
waited for 30 minutes because there's a lot of people there during that time.
Well, it's always the DMV. Always there's a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah. And after that, I got the blue placard with
yeah.
the serial number, and then they printed out with there's like a registration paper that says this is the name of the person, my son.
Mm-hmm.
The It's good for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think every other year at the month of June, that's when they're gonna renew that blue
And you have to
pass.
go back to your doctor to get
No,
right? No.
no. For in my case, because it's a long term, mental disability. It's like a continuous. So every other year they're gonna send you the 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 blue placard.
Right.
So I just received mine last June. So I'm gonna receive another one the other, if it's 2021, so 2023 of June.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do anything. They're gonna just send it to you via mail.
Right. So the first step is to talk to your doctor and see if you qualify for the blue parking placard. And
Mhm.
yeah, so if you need to have a doctor that understands the situation, I think you telling your doctor that you're missing your appointments because your son elopes
Mhm.
once away, it's making
That's
it
right.
hard for you to function to do daily tasks.
Mhm.
And you need to use keywords and let the doctors know, or
Mhm.
your doctor know that it's been really difficult, and it would be really helpful for you and your family to be able to have that parking
Mm-hmm.
in
Because
order
I think the key component for that application is the doctor's
diagnosis, right?
diagnosis and recommendation. Because once a doctor assign it, that's it. They will DMB will accept it, and then you'll have your disability pass.
Yeah, and then for those of you just joining this channel, Elmer's son, the primary doctor doesn't necessarily diagnose didn't diagnose his son with autism. He had to go to a psychologist, right, to get that formal
Mm-hmm.
diagnosis
Mm-hmm.
of autism and
Correct.
intellectual disability. So once that psychologist or psychiatrist gives him that designation or that
It's
diagnosis,
part of his medical record.
and it's part of his medical record, and the doctor is able to
Can
prescribe that. Yeah, but first step is to talk to a doctor, get linked with a psychologist or like a center or an organization that provides that in your local community. And once you get the diagnosis, then you can go and
Yeah.
request that form. But you need to go on that form. I'll post a link to that form in the description below. So if you're watching this video, you can just click the link and then print it out and go talk to your doctor if your kids have been diagnosed with autism or an intellectual disability. If not, then your first step would be to talk to your doctor to get set up with a psychologist to get that diagnosis, right?
Yeah, that's right. Hey, get the perks while you can. I mean, being a parent with kids with disability is already tough and hard. Those little things that will make your life not easy, but at least
Man,
as easy as we could say, get it. And as I always say, the last thing that you could get probably is a denial or no, but at least you tried. You know.
exactly. And last question, Elmer, how did it change your life and your planning since you've got the blue parking plaque?
It really helps me a lot. So in every appointment, I don't have to worry of being late.
Right.
Plus, if I'm bringing you onto a park, to any outdoor activities, whatever, I call it Yuan's BIP parking pass, because
Mhm.
I don't have to worry about looking for a parking anymore, because there's like a spot for him. And plus, having that, I mean, it you can use it anywhere at grocery stores, picking up meds,
Mhm.
going to appointments, bringing him to the park, to any amusement park, to the hotel. So it
Mhm.
will gonna, if you're traveling with him, with your family, the family also the traveling with him, get the VIP parking
Right.
because Yuan is with you. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that really that this could help you. One little thing, but it actually helps your life get better in terms of like transportation and going to any destination that you need to go.
Right.
It's really helpful. Going
Right.
to the movies, like if you're planning to bring your kid to the movies,
Mhm.
we only tried it twice or thrice with Yuan because he doesn't like movie theater, but it works.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's easier for you, and it's also a point of safety, like what you mentioned, because he elopes. And also another disclaimer is like if your child doesn't really need that blue parking pass because they don't have that behavior that
Oh, they will
sitting out
not.
there.
Yeah.
Don't, yeah,
No.
don't try to take advantage of that. Use it only if you really need to. If it's dangerous for them to park further, definitely avail that.
And plus, you will not ever get it if the doctor doesn't
Yeah, you need
recommend
your
it.
doctor, right?
So I
Exactly.
mean, you cannot just surpass the process, or you
Hmm.
know, just because you want it. It's not that you have to qualify for it, and the first person who's gonna decide for in with that case, or your case, is your doctor. So if your doctor recognize that you need this, well, in case of Yuan, he actually knows that Yuan needs it. So that's when you can really get the disability parking pass.
Right, absolutely. Well, Elmer, thank you so much for joining
Mm-hmm.
us on this episode of Sensory Sumo. Thank you so much, and hope to see you again. It's
Oh
awesome.
yeah,